Welcome back to Division B here at Pro League, our final day of week number 1. And coming up, we have Splyce versus Denial. Now, both of these teams are sitting at 1 and 2 in this week. So arguably, both of them very much so need this win. And Pac, I want to start with you. Which team do you think needs this win more realistically? Would you say Splyce or Denial?
I think Splyce probably need it more, just because their mentality is so off right now that if they don't win this match, this just be a horrible week for them. If they win this match, it'll just be an average week, but that's better than the alternative. Just coming from where they've come from as a team, second, third places, to now having this kind of week, that would just be super detrimental to this team. If Denial lose, they did just get top 16, right? So it's not quite the same. They haven't had the highs that Splyce have had.
To keep, I guess, to like keep your roster and keep your mentality, fine, Splyce need it more. In terms of the standings, Denial absolutely need it more. But like I said earlier today, this is a massive match for Splyce because Envy's going up against United, and we know that Splyce and Envy are kind of tied up there for 4 and 5. So this would be a big opportunity for them to get that 4th spot solidified for now.
Even in terms of the standings, I think Splyce need it more though, because Denial's not going to make their way up to that top 4 spot, right? So Splyce need this to stay up on pace with Envy.
You want to get as best of a seed as you can.
Right, no, that's true. That's definitely true.
But yeah, we got to talk about these Splyce guys. Like, they're such incredible players. And Temp, you know, he had like an off series where he just didn't go positive. So we call that an off series for Temp. But I mean, he played a lot better yesterday. He stepped it back up, and he shouldn't have to go absolutely off to win a series. Like, that's the problem with these guys is, you know, they don't have that trust in each other anymore, and they're trying to gain that back. And the only way you can do that is by winning. Like, you have to come out and just win a series and go, hey, this guy has my back, this guy is good, and start to believe in your teammates once again.
Well, and Nameless, that point, you also said, like, Temp doesn't need to be going off, but yesterday, I believe Pac said Looney shouldn't need to be going off like that either because it's detracting from perhaps other things he needs to be doing, that the whole team study needs to be stepping up.
Yeah, no, for me, it's going to be Jared for me because their one series win this week, Donnie had a 1.64 and Jared had a 1.17. And that was easily, like, Donnie's basically averaging a 1.4 in hardpoint, just in general. But Jared is just so inconsistent. Like, that one day he had a 1.7, then the rest of the days is a 0.2. I feel like what the backbone for Splyce is definitely the SOG duo between these two guys. When you can get Jared firing on all cylinders, including with Donnie, you know what he's going to be able to bring to the table. This team will be very scary because everyone else is going to be feeding off of just their SOG players, being aggressive, being able to pick up 2 pieces. So everyone else will just be able to step up. So for me, it's going to be Jared.
I had an issue yesterday with their search and destroy, actually, where Looney kept using a sniper and like wouldn't put it away. I was wondering sort of what their plan was, if they were just like, I'm just going to do whatever I want, like if that's sort of the mentality that they have. And then even in their hard points, like they lost 2 hard points yesterday to United. This is Splyce. This is a team of players who are amazing at respawn. How are you losing 2 hard points? It's clearly a chemistry thing. So this is a match I think you guys at home will want to pay really close attention to see what's actually going on with these guys.
Now, Pac-Man, on the side of Denial, we've seen kind of a moment where they definitely showed up when they 3-2'd Envy, who had a very competitive series with 100 Thieves, so we know they can do it. But do you think they'll be able to do it here against Splyce, kind of bring that level of fire that they did when they took down Envy?
Honestly, for me, this is the most difficult match to predict this whole week. Like, I have no idea what team's going to win this match because I don't know what form each of these teams are on, but they definitely can do it. After that 3-2 win against Envy, they did fall 3-1 to back-to-back matches. But they still showed signs of life in both of those matches. So if they can string it together for an entire match, if we can get that performance that we saw to Joe in one of those maps where he went completely off, that Hacienda map where he went completely off, and Rated can keep up with that consistent play, I do think that they can do it. Alex has had a better week than I've seen him have in a long time. And now, like, they just have to get their teamwork together. Whether or not they're going to win this match, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue. That depends on the form that we see out of Splyce. I still think that Splyce's ceiling is super high, but if they reach that, Denial won't win. But I don't think Splyce is going to reach that form.
I mean, Denial had a really close game in their last match, right? Like, they could have won games 2 and 3. It came down to 1 round in each game. So obviously Denial's had a rough go around their last 2 games. They lost to the reigning champs, and they beat Envy, and then they lose to Elevate, who's been on a hot streak. And it was a very close match. I thought it could have went either way. I was just talking to Rated before the segment, and he was like, have you been seeing what's happening? He's like, this is the craziest things in Call of Duty. It's so unlucky. So they definitely still know that they can win these maps, and they believe that they can win these series. It just comes down to those final moments, whether or not they'll clutch up and close it out.
But do you have any issue with him saying that things are just unlucky? as opposed to perhaps just what they're doing, their execution?
Yes and no, because there have been some sort of unlucky things. But when you try to pinpoint like one little situation that's, I guess, happening on the map causing you to lose, it's not always like that. So that could be like worrisome later on. But for right now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they've gotten unlucky in a couple maps, and we'll see what they can do here, because they've looked pretty solid. You know, if they've looked horrible and he was saying that, it'd be different. They've looked solid, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
Well, that'll be an interesting question too then, Study. If they take down Splyce, you have to start asking kind of like, we know how high Splyce's ceiling can be, but then we ask this question of Denial, well, where is their ceiling? Can they take down Envy? Can they take down Splyce, regardless of how they're doing right now? Who else can they start to take down? So what do you think? If they take down Splyce, will we see bigger things from them maybe next week?
I think it'll definitely be a boost morale for them going into next week, especially going up against a powerhouse team in Splyce, even though they're not really performing as well as they wanted to at the moment. But Denial just needs to be able to start off the way that they, like, just start and finish strong, because they start off every hard point, at least game one, at least with the first 2 hills in the back pocket. So when it's going up that bad, it's going to be Brack and Alex who are just doing it all, and then all 3 other players are sitting at a 0.8. So I'm going to need all those players to basically step up. We saw great performances out of Joe, Rated bringing it in S&D, and Bance has his spurts of greatness. So this team just needs to be able, for an entire series, they just need to be on point, because they start off really good, but then they just literally just calm down and it just lets it sink in, and then eventually just lose it. Yeah. So if they just start good, they'll be fine.
Well, we will see if they can start off well and well, but we are ready to get into the series now. We're going to hit it back over to our casters, Miles and Momo.
Thanks all. We're ready to go over here. The stage is almost ready to go. Phil, you ready to go?
Nearly. You know, I'm getting there. Give me a minute. Might be. Who knows?
I'd like to see the series layout before we're ready to go.
I mean, I'd like that, Miles. I mean, who knows? You know, will it just suddenly pop up and we see it? Probably, but yes.
That's the way we do it over
I'm
here.
Certainly ready. After a game 5 that we just seen, nearly went to a round 11. Now we get a little taste of Splyce. It's my first time actually casting over Splyce this week. Yeah. You know, I've been excited to see these guys come back from London, and so far it's not been great. I'll be honest. They did start the week with a big 3-0. That, of course, coming on the Monday, but since then it's just been a bit of a downhill spiral for them. They beat E6 3-0, and then from there, Splyce, they lost 3-2 to Elevate, which was the biggest shock of the week for me, and then lost 3-1 to E United. They only took the control. So going into this game, again, looking at the 5 players on one side of the stage compared to the 5 players on the other, I favour Splyce.
I think, yeah, it's...
current form, Miles.
That's it. It's the form. It's not playing to potential. Not playing to potential. Meanwhile, on the other side of the board, though, the unlucky 5 at times, Denial, everything to play for here again for them. Of course, young Alex, the most recent addition to the team. Joe, no stranger to the Pro League. Same could be said about Rated as well, possibly one of the most controversial players on Twitter. Always fun to watch. And Brack, the newcomer from the States, rounding out this squad and bringing a little bit of American flair to the lineup. Bance, a player who has just had he's had the highest expectations of himself. The analyst desk have had such high expectations of him. We as casters, fans have, and he's just fallen short every now and then. I think Study put it very well, as Bance needs to have a solid series. Bance is a true X factor when it comes to this roster, and if he can make a difference, you know, well, he makes a difference, let's face it.
Let's see whether he can today. Yesterday, they lost out to Elevate. There was a big upset over Envy, I think it was, earlier on in the week. However, map pool, here we go. Am I ready? Now I'm ready. Arsenal hardpoint, Hacienda, search and destroy, double dose of gridlock. And to end things out, we've got a little bit of payload. So it's going to be an interesting one, by all means. So as we start things off, much like we did on the previous series, it's going to be a hardpoint Arsenal.
I love Call of Duty.
How much?
Honestly,
do you love Call of Duty more than you love me?
Yes.
Okay.
First hard point, here we go. Denial. Can they come out swinging? Can they catch Splyce unaware? Can they catch them off guard? I mean, first map taking here from them would be something special. But again, the predictions coming through from everyone from the analysts, everyone from the Twitter viewers, it's going to be a Splyce 3-0, surely.
I mean, you'd think so.
You'd think so.
Again, we see the 2 hard points. It's going to be Arsenal and Gridlock in this series for Splyce. They're both, you know, good maps. You know, 3-1 on Arsenal of recent form. You know, 1-0 for them during the Pro League. But of course, Denial, they haven't won either of them in the last 2. It's not really their go-to maps, but Splyce again. The stats, everything points to them. The only thing kind of making me a little bit nervous about Splyce is current form. But when Temp drops a 1.4 on average, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Wild performances from everyone. Splyce to be expected of them, but again, current form. Let's see how they fare. Accuracy doing a great job of staying alive there in a tough situation while the rest of his teammates were gone. Denial with a nice early start. And again, I do put a lot of this down to Bance. Bance so far just sitting in that 1-1. Brack had a great opener. 3-1. Still, they've got to keep up that pace. The team that is going to be able to keep that steady pace is going to be Splyce. We've seen them do this. The roster has been unchanged since Black Ops 4 hit the shelves, and so far, Denial have managed to make light work of the first hard point.
Well, Denial so far so good, and even rotation. Spawns may go in favor of Splyce for this, but we saw this on the previous series where you don't necessarily need the spawns. As long as you can lock down the hard point and pin them back in this robotic area here, this will be a good position for Denial. Brack starting off 4-on-1. And of course, Jerd, you must point out, he's going up against 4 very familiar players that he's gone up against probably for near on a decade at this point. He's got that little bit more to play for. I don't think he likes losing to the Europeans when he's got 4 of the best North Americans around him. I mean, who would?
I don't like losing at all, Phil, let alone. I know the feels. I must admit, this is a great hold from Denial. Splyce, their 4-man push through the back didn't work out. Now they're trying to reshuffle and make something of this. They're going to get high spawns. That could be the turning point for them there. The kills are going their way. Alex up top can't win the gunfight against Jerd up close. Temp now has the point. But is it too little too late? Splyce now going to be hitting that rotate, but again, the timing of the deaths seem to really work out there for everyone here on Denial, and they're going to get the back straight away. They are going to have spawns to the next hard point, unless they can get Looney out of here. Number 7, Accuracy pushing up now, trying to pinch Bance into position there. It's going to be Jerd, the playmaker's going to start this one off and get that kill. Hard point flips, but they have to contend with this close now engagement from behind.
Yeah, again, always hard being kind of that first-in player, looking for that kill, and doesn't work out for Splyce this time. Actually, the only player to actually pick up a kill. A nice hold again from Denial. Brack 7-2. We saw his influence obviously on the Denial roster already. I was looking to go back to back on the hard points in favor of Denial. So far, they've dominated the previous 2. 4 kills come in for Splyce, and now this looks like maybe a Splyce hold for the last 25. And look at number 7 already. Number 7, 30 seconds left to go. It's Looney. He was the one to rotate first on this hill, and he's going to be the rotator for the next one too.
Quick test. Splyce with a decent bit of time now, but you're right, that early rotate again. Brack.
Looney goes down though, so again, early rotation, all well and good, but he was on his own, If
he gets the kill, it's all good. If he doesn't, team's gonna have to make that clean break. And now we have it again. Battle for mid going down as well. Strong work from Job. Jerd's there to trade out. Brack holding the front line. Jerd actually finding 2 in the middle. Looney now back into the mix. He finds a second there on Bance. That's going to help take the hard point straight back, and Jerd's not out of it yet. This has been a good break now from Splyce. They've got back into this 40 seconds on this hard point, and as long as they can hold on, the windows are safe. But it is going to be a pinch. The timing's on point. Brack's there. Brilliant shots from Brack. Almost able to get the 3rd as the shots come through. Alex, once again, Alex is having a struggle so far. Those 1v1s not going his way. In Denial, they have the lead for how long?
Yeah, nice little 2-piece there from Aqua just to retain the hard point. 20 seconds left, and again, Splyce have the rotation already locked down, but they're actually going to lose the fight and lose that last 15, so Denial will take those points. And it's interesting again, because it's not a hard thing to do, to win rotation. You just do it before the other team, but giving up the points is not a good idea either. You've got to find that very, very nice balance in between, and I think Splyce are trying to figure it out right now. Down by 55 points.
It's not what you want to see as a Denial fan. Is Temp starting to heat up. 10-9 now. But it's still seemingly uncontested thus far. Joe, Alex rated, finding kills. Alex, again, unfortunate situation for him to be in. 125 now for Denial climbing. The points are working out. Brack is going to early invest that War Machine.
This is so fast to get the War Machine as well.
Wow, that was so perfectly timed there with the trophy system shut it down. He does manage to eventually get the kill on the 10, but you're right. Trophy's in position. The War Machine comes out very aggressively.
132-80 here. Splyce are holding on for the final 20. And after the first rotation done, Denial will have a lead, but what will it be? That's the question. Brack getting back into the middle. Will he push through? Will he actually challenge this? Wisely, I think, backs off and just thinks about the next hill. This can be a money hill now on second rotation if you set up nicely here, but Temp creeping through. He's going to be in the vent. He's going to find his 12th kill. So the analyst desk breaking down, of course, his averages, his numbers. It's actually kind of disgusting how consistent he's been since not even the start of a pro league. Since the start of this game releasing, he's been, you know, #1 at events multiple times. You know, he's had those crazy games, but all we're gonna see him do is put a pellet in his pants and blow himself up.
Well, the only thing that can stop Temp is Temp.
Literally.
Splyce with a hard point. Band's trying to make the entry kills. All he finds is Jerd. 30 seconds now. Splyce could be getting all of this. It's a lot of time, though. Denial need to try to make the contest, but man, accuracy. Accuracy, just that. Bant's finally getting back into this one. Slow for Bantz, and again, the analyst desk called it out. He needs to have a strong game. 8-17, that's not a strong game. 8-13 for rated as well. Brack, though, he's really flying the Denial flag right now. He's really the alpha of this pack at 17-10.
He really has been that player, you know, and it was the same on his previous rosters. He's been very outstandish. Jerd uses the slam for the one, but he uses it for the streaks. That's the more important thing here. Now gets the lightning. Oh my, I love this play here. He's going to use the lightning strike straight away. He's going to find himself a double. And now he's going to break through. I think he's going to get the Hellstorm on the back of that. He does. Jerd was called upon to be more consistent on the desk as well. Mr. 18-9 right now, putting up a huge number. But going back to Brack, he's been so consistent as well with the numbers that he's been putting up. Attack 5 boost coming in, everything lining up for Splyce. We're starting to get a bit of a taste of the old Splyce, it seems.
Well, yeah, vintage Splyce. Jerd, great position to be behind. Wow. Wow. Whoa, Splyce. Buy him dinner first. 167 and climbing. It's the final 15 here on Cranes, and it's all theirs. Chalk it.
Jerd thinks they're spawning at the back, but they've actually spawned out, which will favor them. However, Bravo 6 going dark.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're both excited.
We're both excited. Here we go. 145 now with Denial on the point, but accuracy making light work of them before he gets cut down there by Alex. Alex possibly finding a second, hungry for it as he takes down Aqua, and this is decent. Splyce managed to win the gunfight toward B. Bantz, brilliant shots. He's managed to get a little bit of help from behind from Alex, and that's it. Denial will hold. Brack's now got the back stairs covered. Turning into a 1 avenue push for Splyce. Denial able to get the lead back here. Jerd's going to lead the charge. Aqua, Looney, lovely kills. They're on point. Brack's going to back up, leaving it to Rated there from lobby, and now Brack's alone. This push is just for, I don't know, that was his teammates are all dead.
Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one. There's only 15 seconds, but Splyce are going to take it all. They're going to extend their lead here. Jerd and Temp once again. I mean, Temp, it's almost a given at this point. You load up a hardpoint game, he's gonna be +5 to 10, you know, at the end of it. This guy is kind of unstoppable. But Jerd's right there with him, and we're starting to see this 30-point lead go in favor of them. But Rated and Denial, they're gonna have the full setup here. They've got Tempest at the ready. Accuracy's gonna be back up with Attack 5. Well, the Attack Mass, should I say, not Attack 5. That might be coming a little later on, but Rated trying to connect with the Tempest here.
And the hardest thing for Rated now is he's trying to put himself in a position where he can actually use this Tempest, you know, effectively. And you can see the position. He's just been forced back. He can't get Jerd. He almost actually finds his teammate. Come on, he's got to get the shots. And again, just pushed out of position. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's just the way that the Splyce are playing this. But nonetheless, Denial now will take the lead back. Tempest managed to buy them a bit of time, but didn't really capitalize on the kills. Nonetheless, shots coming through. Joe's the next line of defense. Great saunter accuracy. Almost gets the kill, but not quite enough. The stun's going to buy him time. Gets teammates in the mix now. Bant's top window as well. Gearing up for this one. The trophy's there. Oh my God, they're climbing in your windows. And there they have it. Hide your kids, hide your wife. 220 for Denial.
Look at the spawns. 4 players for Denial all spawned out. Rated's the only one holding the back, and he's doing a great job at doing so. He just needs to stay alive, you know, for maybe 5-10 more seconds here. Wait for his teammates to push on in. Those teammates are Joe and Bantz, though, and they're out of there. So is Alex. Raid's still picking up kills at the back, but it is only favoring one team right now. Hello! Through the window. And back out again. They're going to find, actually, you know, Denial spawn at the back, so it does favor them, and Rated really rewarded for staying alive there, but 232 to 210. It can still end. If Denial hold this, they can close it out.
That would be, what a turn that would be for them. Attack 5's there. Brack and Alex still at full health. Temp gets put down. And this is looking possible. Looney trying to hit the flank. He's got Joe, but wait a minute, the timing. Is he going to find anything here? Alex, he's got it. They're still on point. Denial. Are they about to do it? They're going to steal map 1.
And do you call it a steal? That's the question. For me, Denial, they played that smart. They were spawning out. Rated held his ground. They waited for rotations to come through. And no matter how strong Splyce were in individual plays, were Jerd, incredible map. Temp, fantastic, but Denial. The pack that they are, they stuck together. They come out on top and, you know, deservedly so, I would say.
We talked about individual performances. We need to see a little bit more at Bance. You know, Rated wasn't exactly going positive. Brack had his superstar moments, but you're right.
Brack is a beast, man.
But it's the teamwork, man. Denial played that to a T. Here's our final 60 seconds of the hard point. He's 2 sets of crazy 3-man pushes through window while they excited and titillated these casters. It wasn't enough to stop Denial.
And look at this, right? Bance, -10. Joe, -4. Rated, -6. Alex and Brack at this point, +6 combined. So overall, Denial have been outslayed so heavily. We're talking like 15 kills at this point. But it doesn't change anything. Again, you know, Splyce are pushing through, they're picking up kills, but it's the position that they're doing so. They find themselves in the windows. Look where Denial are pushing through from, and look where Splyce are spawning out. They have to spawn, they have to go right through the middle, right down that long lane on the outskirts here. Temp tries to make a bit of a hero play, but as he does, 2 of his teammates go down. He finds one. Accuracy finds one in Food as well. And this is where it really kind of changes and finishes off. Alex and Brack picking up their individual kills onto Accuracy and Temp, and that really does seal the deal. But again, heavily outslayed, heavily outnumbered, but they come out on top. Alex, though, 26 and 18, ends on a 5 streak.
26 and 18. Well, Jess caught up with Alex just before the start of the game. It'd be great to think what the newcomer knows. Jess, take it away.
Thanks, Miles. Yeah, I did catch up with Alex, and our conversation primarily kind of focused on the loss to Elevate yesterday, which Alex described as the worst S&D choke in the history of Call of Duty. Despite everything, he seemed to be kind of keeping a pretty positive, upbeat attitude, but he said should have beat Elevate, probably should have beat 100 Thieves, and going forward here, he, you know, like I said, he's got a pretty upbeat attitude. I did ask him, are you at all concerned that the same kind of choke might happen here versus Splyce? And he said, not a chance. I don't even think that's possible for anything like that to happen again. Over on the side of Splyce, I caught up with Temp, and you guys know his attitude. He looked at me and said, the only thing you need to tell them is hashtag dig deep and hashtag you know the vibes. So let's see how the rest of the series goes. Miles and Momo, back over to you.
Hashtag dig deeps and hashtag you know the vibes. Well, I think we know the vibes now.
Yeah, what are the vibes?
I don't know. The vibes are let's outslay him, but not get the hard point. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave that one to Temp.
We're gonna be hashtag dig deeper now. You know, we need something more. Yep. Splyce for me again with the way Jerd played at the start and with Temp kind of doing his normal thing. They should have won that. I would have to. That's the one I have to watch back to realize the moments where it got kind of thrown away. But going forward, we have to move forward with a 40-point win. Denial take map number 1. Hacienda Search and Destroy coming up next. And like I said before, a double dose of Gridlock. Are we even going to need that map 5? We've just been treated to a game 5 with E6 and Elevate. But I will say, going into this one, Splyce was a very quick write down in my notebook at the start of the week of who would take this, who would, you know, come out on top. It wasn't really even a question. I didn't really even think about Denial. Now, a little bit of a different vibe.
We're thinking about Denial now. And that's the thing is, practice makes perfect. And for Splyce, I mean, that practice doesn't seem to be helping. They really have started to, I don't know, they're not the team they were in Vegas. They're not the team they were in Fort Worth. And they sure as hell are looking a bit like the team they were in London. It's just, it's not what you expect.
Great.
It's not great.
And you know what? There's a certain someone out there, of course, you know, maybe up for grabs.
What?
Does Splyce take advantage of that?
Does Splyce make a change? I don't know, mate. We'll see how we go.
Who knows? I think one of the questions on social media were, are Splyce going in the same way of LG? And I can safely say, you know, absolutely not in that sense. These LG, I don't think, won a game in a week and a half, but it isn't great. You know, and all teams go through tough times. Splyce is one of those tougher times right now. Jerd magically finds himself alive after that one.
And you hear all this gunfire?
Oh my goodness.
All that gunfire, I mean, he only lost Jerd. Accuracy's going to make his way on the outside. 4 members of Splyce just jump straight over the wall. Brack trying to find something here. Joe manages to live. Looney just kills Brack. 4v2, Splyce. 3v1. It all comes down to Aqua. Aqua melted.
Benjamin Bance coming out with a triple there. Didn't have the best of map 1. Came out with a win, which all that matters, but we're going to be highlighted to a bit of a Bance player. MK finds the first. Dipping dive, quick stim shot. Slides on over, trades the second one out, which is important, and then win the third as well. He doesn't get the fourth, does he?
No.
Tell me he doesn't.
Way.
Oh, Benjamin! Stole that last one, though.
It was that close range kill on accuracy, though, just on the outside of the fence. His second kill there, was third kill there, I think, of the clip. Really crucial. Real crucial. That was it. Gets himself 4. Great start. Here we go now onto the defense for Denial. Brack's going to be alone. The rest of the squad, the Brits, will be hitting A. But Brack's like, boys, I don't care what you're doing over there. I need your help. They're all here.
The boys, the Brits and Brack, however you want to label them right now. Denial, the Wolfpack, are looking so strong here. They're looking confident as well in themselves, and I haven't seen that in not necessarily the team, but the players individually in a while. Obviously, we go back, we're talking a couple of years for some of these players when they were on Splyce, ironically enough, you know, for reserve and such. It felt like, you know, a lot of them were in a bit of a limbo, a little bit lost here. Ooh. Not today! They lose one player in round number 2, and it is a comfortable round. And Splyce, where do you even start?
This is not great to start off with, but it's far from finished. I spoke to Bance just before the start of this match, said, how you feeling, what's going on? And he was just like, I need you to gas me up there, Miles. Like, I need you to gas me. And I was like, well, that's not up to me, mate.
If you do well, we'll gas you up.
We'll gas you.
We shout your name, we scream it at a louder pitch. That's about all we do.
It's the best you get.
We just tell the story that is in front of your eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
It's 2 solid rounds now, 4-0 still for Bance. He did get points at that last round though, so marching their way towards B now. Brack once again playing that island. As the Brits make their way towards the bomb site. Alex, nice shots on attempt, could not get away in time. And now Brack, ooh, just a little shot or two, just
a little
just a
nervous
taste
as well. You see him like rapidly hit that heal button. He didn't even get shot. He's like, no, I'm okay.
Incredible muscle memory just to hit that so instinctively. Rated now, trying to hit the outside of the map. Oh, you just about, if we can see him, you can see him. There he is. Rated's trying to hit the flank. Oh, and the timing can be great. 2 quick kills, though, come through. Alex continuing the great run he's had so far. Big shots. Bance is there to find another. He finds his 5th, and Rated out of the water, he emerges. A Kraken finds 2.
You know that the strategy when you're in a war and you try and funnel a whole team through a very small space?
You mean like them Spartans did against, you know, them Persian boys?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what just happened. Splyce having to fit 5 people through a doorway, and they had 5 people aiming at them. It's only going to end one way.
Still, though, I mean, you have to... Denial's positioning there in the final moments with Rated in water. We had Kraken House, and everyone... They had every angle covered. Splyce... Oh, boy. Could this be a 6-0? Judge owned 3. Accuracy's owned 3 as well. Bance still sitting on that 5-0. Rated did drop, so he's 5-1, but here we go.
Yeah, Bance has got more kills, or the same amount of kills as their whole team combined. Brack shutting down Temp. This is just going to be... I feel like Splyce they're just frustrated at this point.
Come on. Brack was so close to death there. And look how weird this gunfight is. Who fights backstairs? Why are they dying here?
Why are Splyce here? You know, why aren't they planting the bomb at B? Why aren't they? And again, easy for us to say, by all means, but it feels like Splyce were that team that could read this like a book. And now it just seems a little out there. Accuracy yet to find a kill, and Lightning Strike has just called out 3 players. Bomb does go down. Bance staying alive.
Still living. Still good. The ping's used. The actual ordnance itself, those 3 shots are still there. Alex, what the hell? He manages to find 2. 4v1.
Again, they lost 1 life.
Wow.
Just going across the board. Rated 6-1. Bance 6-0.
Well, search and destroy is no problem for Denial, is it, Phil?
I don't even think it's that right now. I think everything is a problem for Splyce. That's what it feels like. I don't even class Denial as a great search and destroy team. I just feel like Splyce are they're in a weird phase right now, and something's clearly not working. And it's a shame because, again, When was the last time you saw a team like Splyce outslay on a hardpoint and lose?
That's not that regular of occurrence.
I will say
that's a sort of statistical anomaly. We're like, well, it's very important to play hardpoint this way, you know, even if you're outside. And that's something we use as an outlier, as a piece of information. That, in a team like Splyce, you're right, it's not normal.
And Red Reserve, obviously, a couple of players formerly of that, you know, they were the one team that used to be able to win whilst being outslayed, so maybe they're carrying that over. But Bant's a player who was called upon to step it up, and for me, he was the underperformer for Denial. And you couldn't have asked for more, especially in the Search and Destroy right now.
Hellstorm's out. Tons of information gathered. Here comes the bend. Hey!
Bend it like Bants.
Bend it like Bants. That's fine.
Change the name. Still got a lightning strike to play with. I think he used the ping yesterday.
Last
what
round.
am I talking about?
Great kill there from Aquan of Brack. Up close like that with the ICR. Bomb's going to go down at A. Temp in from behind. Brilliant nade. Temp finds 2. And the rest of the cluster is going to get him the 3rd. It's a hat trick right then and there for Temp.
And it's all down to Bants. He's called in the lightning. 26 seconds. He didn't have the ping, so he's just put it straight on top of the... Oh, and he's been spotted. He's been spotted. Temp is shouting and screaming at his teammates to start defusing that bomb.
Dun, 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 dun. Aqua gets it. Nice work.
Good try, Bants.
I like the throw with the bomb. Oh, sorry, I like the throw with the streaks onto the bomb. You know, he just gets that lightning strike out there. But to be honest, a very costly round for Denial. Very costly. 2 streaks. And the bulk of that round won by Temp with a single cluster.
Kind of crazy how it panned out. He put a couple shots of the RK7 into one, but the cluster picking it up. 10 as he leans forward and watches himself. Here we go.
I mean, that.
Tagged up everyone.
That's how you get it done. He doesn't have to fire another shot.
3 dubs, free cash. These guys are pretty good at Search and Destroy Hacienda.
Dig deep, you know the vibes.
Come on. Bad timing on that one.
4-1. Great round from Splyce. Can they repeat? They have to slow down Denial right now. The pack is just howling.
I hate to jump to conclusions as well. Splyce yesterday, they lost map 1 and 2 against Eve.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness. Beautiful from Brett there. But they did bounce back in control. That was the one. That's the one mode that they really seem to be still quite strong on. But they're 3-3 right now after a strong start from Brack. Aqua finds a kill, and now as he swims with the fish, he's going to be tagged up. Joe finds one. They know Temp is in the water. Oh no. Oh no. It's Joe. All down to Aqua.
Brilliant vision there on Alex, but Alex...
Aqua not so comfortable in the Aqua.
Alex brought his floaties, and he manages to get that one. Going to give the defuse now to Joe. And that's it. In round 6, Denial find their 5th win. 1 more is all it takes, and they go 2-0 up over Splyce.
Tough, tough times right now. Brack started with a double. I'm surprised that wasn't the best play, but I think Joe actually found one here, and then he finds the second in the water.
We can't see him. I mean, that's just pure intuition. Sees the shots come through.
It's like a little float popping up.
Yeah.
That was his gun.
Barely see him. And that double from Brack at the start, though, I mean, that shouldn't happen.
No.
That was a straight 2v1. They were both shooting. And it just, I mean, that's a problem between teamwork at that moment, and it's also a problem individually where you're just getting done.
Well, we've seen a few donuts this past couple of weeks. What was it, Scraps? Who else was it? Pristini.
We almost had Jet Li. Oh, maybe, no, Jet Li got a kill.
No, Jet Li did get a kill.
He did get a kill, and Jerd could be joining that trifecta. Opening gambit works out for Denial. Splyce drop 2. Bomb now goes down for Joe. Temp trying to make something happen with that snipe, and he's tried it in 1 round before. It didn't quite work out. Got the RK7 in the end, which really did. Well, the cluster made all the difference, but
Jerd's hitting the flank.
Ooh.
Temp's getting pressured. Jerd, does he look right? Yes, he does. He sees. I think it's his old teammate Bans, and he will find himself the kill. So no donut for Jerd. Can they win the round, though? That's the more important question right now. 20 seconds still left to play. Jerd close to the bomb, but Temp's going to go down, and surely Joe and Brack, they just traded out.
Here we go. Jerd's up next. Brack
hasn't missed a bullet.
Wait a minute. This is an awkward fight. Oh, this is very awkward. Jerd's done. Denial. 2-0. 2-0 over Splyce. I hope you're not a betting man, Phil, because this series is full of surprises.
I am definitely not, especially with the way my predictions go. Looking by this one, I'll be 0-2 for the day, which is always fun.
Unbelievable, man. Denial, what a search and destroy that was. Heroics in the first hardpoint, give them a big win there. And would you believe it? Splyce, a fall from grace. If Elevate wasn't bad enough, they lose out to E United, and now their backs are firmly against the ropes against Denial. After the break, Control. Can Splyce turn this around? Can they find those struggles an end? Or will Denial get it done in 3? Find out after the break.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
And here we go. Map number 3 between Denial and Splyce. No, do not adjust your sets. Do not refresh your page. Denial are 2-0 up over Splyce here in the series. Surprises, yes, indeed. But nonetheless, it's the reality we're living with, friends. Splyce have been on struggle streak so far, and as you can see in the scoreline, they do continue. 250 to 210 and a 6-1 in the Hacienda. If not for some magic from Temp, it could have been a 6-0.
It was a shocking search and destroy to see live, and I'm sure if you're going to watch that VOD back as well, I'm sure Splyce will. There's probably plenty amount of things you can take from it, but certain things were just, it seemed off. You know, we saw gunfights in Denial's base when it was on the offense. But as we jump into potentially, and I cannot believe we're saying this, potentially the last map for Splyce and Denial, it's going to be Control, and it's going to be on Gridlock. However, Splyce played a United yesterday. Their Control looked pretty strong. They came out on top, pushed it to a map number 4. Are they going to be able to do the same for Denial? Looking for that reverse sweep, of course.
And again, it's the saving grace for Splyce is their Control game, and so far, A has been completely overrun. I mean, that was a savage assault. Only managing to lose 1 life, really. I mean, Accuracy found a kill onto a teammate for the second, so Brack playing it very slow and sensibly. Confident kill onto Aqua. Bance opening up kills in the front end against Looney, and now the charge for Splyce as they try to make their way through mid. An interesting pinch right now. Brack was still out and about, alive there. Aqua will kill him, but a lovely trade comes through there, so Denial will continue to hold. They managed to close out the back push. Now the front, oh my god, from Joe, almost. But the front push now is still developing slowly as Splyce managed to reinforce. Splyce managed to get their numbers forward. Staggered push is what they need to watch out for. Number 1 way on the back. Wow, Accuracy. Whoa, 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 that was a powerful, powerful 2-piece.
That's when you lose absolute full when you're in SMG. You come up close to an ICR like that and you just get beamed. How he's done it, you'll find out if you watch it back here, but Accuracy, he's going to run out of bullets. He's looking for a gun. He's found himself a sword. Oh, there we go. Slap another bad boy in that ICR, and he's going to be ready to rock and roll.
Another bad boy. Accuracy yet to drop. 5-0, 5 kills. An extra on a teammate, 150 away from streaks. Here he goes. Oh my, Alex pushes him to the brink, 61. Oh, there it is. Can't quite get the kill. No assist either. Looney tried to find it for him. They are fully aware that Accuracy has not died yet. And they're doing what they can now. Denial are doing what they can to try to stop him from getting those streaks, but here he comes.
It's interesting, you don't really see this type of spawn trap. Accuracy, obviously, in the opposing team's base, making the spawn in front of him. He's actually going to get Rated to spawn behind him. Rated is going to take full advantage of that. In fact, I think, yeah, Raid takes that upon himself with 30 seconds left. No one really even close to be.
Raid also kills Alex there, which does not give the assist to Accuracy, and he dies. No streaks, no nothing. Fantastic work. Alex, whoa, once again, lovely shots.
12 to 10. 15 seconds, Miles.
Something's got to happen now. Brack says no. And that's it. They're going to be holding them back. The contest is going to come through. Bance in a position to maybe get the kills. Temp, he denies it. 5.3 seconds. Lives going the way of Denial right now. Brack in from behind. He's going to close down Accuracy and almost finds one on the turn. Final 5 lives. Jerk on the contest. First round goes to Denial.
Seems simple, very clean, very effective. And again, A was gone, it was done within seconds, but B was held out, and it was held out very strongly by Denial as well. So first round on the board does go to Denial as they try and close this one out 3-0.
Again, after a very strong start from Splyce, they took A incredibly quickly with only losing 1 member, really. But that was A-okay for Denial. They were happy to take the fights in mid. Some nice island work from Brack, playing sneaky in the back. And the rest of the squad holding down that line. Again, we saw Accuracy and we saw Splyce, sitting around fire truck and ambulance for so long. Here we go, into our second round. A's done, basically. Already it's just straight in. I mean, I don't know if Splyce can get here in time. I'm not sure if Splyce can find the kills. First tick's done, second tick almost finished. There it is. No one's going to be there. The kills will come through eventually, though. We do have a bit of a surrounding play from Splyce now. We've seen Splyce do this in the past in the Pro League. We've seen them be able to really effectively isolate teams and lock them in on that A site, but they're not actually opting to do it. They're going to push this one out, and maybe it's because Bance managed to slip the net. Here we go.
I think Splyce, again, they kind of did the right thing and not challenged. We talked about it yesterday, Miles, in over-challenging its way and kind of losing your lives and then losing B pretty soon after. But again, Splyce, they're not in the worst of situations here. They can hold on to B and set up camp. You see number 3, Looney, is going to have to pick up that kill in A and then rotate all the way back round. Temp dealing the damage with Bance there. Maddox beats Sorg at that range here. So Splyce, pretty standard setup as they control Dojo. The 18-wheeler.
It's a tough situation for Bance with their Maddox. With the Sorg there. He really needs the ICRs of his team, the Raiders, to get in over the top and deal as much damage as they can at range so they can get in close like that. I mean, this is the kind of plays we've seen at Reciprocity, Dens playing that sort of station up position 0, on FaZe, even, any of the other ICRs. Allowing your Sorgs to get in close, that's what you want. And once again, a repeat of what we saw in the first round. A goes early, now the play develops. However, it's a war on 2 fronts. Right now, this is working out. Denial have managed to hold the front line down, but the back is where the action's happening. And Bance with an incredibly quick shot punch. Temp has no idea what just happened to him there.
2 in a row for Bance, actually, looking for his 3rd now. His whole team died around him, so unfortunate for him there. But his team are now back up. They're on the zone. They're looking for that first tick onto B. They will get it. Contest must come in. Splyce picking up kills, and that's what they're looking for here. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 17-14 on the defense. Splyce looking strong right now.
Yeah, this is strong. Still, they're going to get their first tick. They're going to flush them out. It's on the ICRs really to just buy that space at this point. Temp trying to get in close. Alex with a crucial kill. 2 on the flank now. Jerd unaware at this point. He's going to turn and just check. And is it going to be too late? Are they going to check that corner? Have they seen him? Jerd, he's right in front of you. Oh my, Bance gets the kill. The back is now open.
3 down for either side.
That's it. Streaks now for Looney. I must admit, that was a very, very awkward play. 12 seconds now on the clock. We have to make something happen here. And there's actually a chance that Denial don't do anything here. There's a chance they just let this round go out. But they're in. There's the contest. There it is. Looney's going to get full streaks. It might have been better if they did nothing.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of waiting until the last minute, go for one last ditch effort. And again, we've seen it time and time again. Sometimes with like 0.3 of a second on, you contest for that moment. As long as you get that wave of kills, especially on a map like Gridlock. These guys spun right at the back. It could have gone either way, but Splyce had it locked down. Looney does get full streaks from it, so both teams putting up a very, very strong defense on B. And both teams losing A very, very quickly. This, for me, again, could go the whole distance. We could be seeing a round 5 here.
Tough scenes for Splyce. Again, maybe an unfair comparison to the situation Luminosity's in right now, but in a lot of ways, it's very similar. Back in A we go. Yes, here we go again. Straight onto it. 2 defense on B. Otherwise, every entrance covered.
This is going to be just a free A. Take it. We don't need to even lose A like 30-30 with A done. Interested.
Biggest worry is now, I mean,
lock him in.
Looney could Hellstorm mid-map right now. He could pop streaks and clean these players up. And now, Splyce a trap. Yeah, there we go. Got to move those arrows out. Oh no, run boys! 2 of them. Cleaned them up. 2 minutes on the clock, and now they've got mid-map completely wide open. 1 player at the back. Bance is done. Free reign now for Splyce to push across B. Great tactical decision there from Looney.
Alex enjoying hopping on and off the fire engine there for a second. Brack does find the double from behind. And again, you kind of go into this, you expect Denial to do what they did in round number 1 and just hold the line. You know, don't let anyone get through. This time, though, Looney has streaks, and of course, round 3 is where we are going to start to see specialists available. Whether they invest them is a different question.
Brack watching the back. He's about to run into a whole host of trouble. Oh, see Daisy.
War machine.
Well, he saw the trophy
nice.
go. He saw the
Yeah,
trophy go first. If he hadn't, I mean, it's just so hard to pull that out in that time and find a kill there, but still. Splyce has slithered their way into the rear now. Looney's lightning strike's going to soften them up. Brilliant shot. Again, Looney with the streaks, putting them to use so well to cover the approach, to cover the advance, and here we go. They're almost on it. How long can Bance hold out for? Not long enough. Here comes the cap.
Finds 2 with it. Connects with 1. We'll take down 1 as well. That one actually bounced off the wall there, injured himself. He doesn't have flak jacket, so dangerous stuff. Stun goes through, and oh my goodness, Temp just praying. Yes, he gets a little bit too much time on there, and he's going to find himself the second tick. The clock is ticking away. The lives are dwindling for Denial. This is so, so strong from Splyce. They're going to get the second tick.
There it is. Joe, you've got to make something happen. Slam's ready for Bance. Late round heroics, maybe, if he wants it. Jerd, though, flying uppercut's going to clean him up. And that's going to be it. Alex, can you get the kill? They're going to get him off point, actually. If he does manage to get that one onto Jerd, we may see this go slightly differently, but at 2 ticks done, they are going to drain it. I mean, Brad could pop War Machine now. There it is. Wants to get rid of that one. Runs Engineer, thankfully. Nade comes through. These tags are going to help, but I'm not sure if he's going to get the kills.
14 to 8. All these trades going down are just favoring Splyce. They're happy to play kind of team deathmatch at this point.
So tense as well. Tech 5 now for Splyce. They're going in on this one. 14 to 6. They've got so many lives to work with, so many lives to burn. Now it's 13 to 3. Denial, good night. We will see you in round 4.
Nicely done from Splyce. That's the Splyce that we, again, know and love. Very strong and very powerful, packing a punch on the attack.
And that was such a strong attacking round.
Yeah.
I mean,
Denial struggled to keep them off there. And again, it felt like Denial almost with the life count that they had, they said, we're not investing in Slam, we're not investing anything because we need it for next round.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot you can do except for hide when, you know, Looney's playing streaks so well. He played them so well. The Lightning Strike to get them out of A after capping it. The Hellstorm to kill those players trying to, you know, push out a bit, push on onto B as well. It just completely covers the streaks. There we go. I got that totally wrong, I know, but it's fine. 1 minute 20 now. Into our 4th round. Denial, first ticket A.
Both teams playing it exactly the same. A is just to waste like 15 seconds. And then, right, game started. Let's do it.
Now the match has really begun.
It's actually not called control, it's called attack and defend B.
Hey, Tempest, Looney. Uh-oh, these misses are going to hurt.
Still got a 6 to play with. Thing is, if he connected with 1 there, he takes 3 down.
Aqua can move in from behind them and find these kills. Trades come through. No streaks to work with yet. Temp holds down Broken. Temp holds down Broken. Anyone else want to test their might against Temp?
Temp and the mighty Broken. Very comfortable. Not for long, though. Cho deletes him there with the sword. See Brack and Rated get into the mix, and this is a very strong push here. There's a 1v1 going down, and Jerd is going to find the slam from it, so he's going to actually have to backtrack because his team are suffering in their spawn. Brack finds a double as well, and it's going to be a bit of an odd one here. I think Jerd can definitely be a difference maker as he sits a little further up, but he finds himself an ICR, and he's going to find himself a kill too.
We still have lives just in the favor of Splyce. Tempo stuff in boxes. Brack in the back of 18. Freewheeling there. Now Jerd trying to find these positions up top, but lovely bit of crossfire there. Just pinched on by Denial. Temp's clusters once again have been so lethal so far, and now the ICR advance working his way forward. Accuracy already posted up with that gun. Joe, though, oh my, making the play through underpass. Brack was covering him, and this is a high play from Vance. Uh-oh, what is going on here? Trying to find the entry kills. As you should as Ruin, but he doesn't manage to find anything. Brack is still there in the back. Finally cleaned up by Temp. That's good stuff. 15 to 11 now. Denial, that's a couple of wasted opportunities. I mean, just unable to execute there on those attacks. If Bance finds the kill onto 18, if Brack manages to stay alive at the back, this would be a different engagement. At 30 seconds, Splyce looking to find that next hardpoint map.
And I think, again, I was surprised Brack didn't invest the War Machine. I was surprised Bance didn't invest the Slam. I think trophies were up, which was preventing it, which is a great play from Splyce. But this is probably the time that we do see those specialists come in. 14 seconds might not seem a lot of time, but one more push is what they need, and one more push is all they need, really. The contest comes in. Slam takes it out, and sweet Jesus, what was that?
Oh, Jerd.
Brack's Slam was gone. Everything was deleted. Sorry, Brack's War Machine taken out. They've simply not got the time.
He didn't even get to use it, and now you head. There you have it. Splyce, get back into it. That match finishes with Bance still having his Slam, Brack with a full War Machine. Nothing really came out of the pockets there from Denial. Did they think they had more time than they did? I mean, you're right. In that very moment, I mean, Jerd picks up the 3, which is ridiculous, but you're right. Brack pulls out War Machine.
Yeah, he was going to use it, as was... Bance had his hand,
but like that's so unfortunate for them. Like they were all lining up, they were like, okay, we've got one more shot, there's one more chance to do it. Jerd comes in with perfect timing, absolute pristine play from him. And here was the beginning of the end for me for Denial. I mean, situation like that where Bance is he's pushed right forward, he can't kill the guy in 18, he can't open up that lane for his teammates to push forward, he gets taken out by Looney there. Brack also loses the kills on underpass, which he held for a really long time.
But did you see the trophies? He had engineer on, there were trophies everywhere. He couldn't use that war machine. So this was the play where, and I was highlighting, there might only be, and I think I said 14 seconds on the clock when it comes through, but that's all they needed. One wave of kills right here, and they win round, push it to game 5. And they see them kind of all culminate into Dojo. You know, they've got the slam, they've got the war machine, but they just don't have the time to get it off.
Yeah, this is it. The final play into Sushi. Looney's got shots through. Bance is like, I've got slam, boys. I'm ready to go. Surprise, Jerd.
If he went on the outside rather than jumping in with them,
yeah.
Different. Well,
I mean, that's just great comms,
well.
though. That's great comms from Splyce. I mean, they know, they've watched those players funnel through, and man, at this point, it's just a massacre. There's no point for anything after that. Great round from Splyce. Great control. Once again, their dominance in that game mode is unquestioned and sadly similar to LG.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Unfortunately.
And what does that say about control? Does that just say that control is a game mode which, you know, comes down to more individuals, or it is more, you know, what does that say about control? I don't know the answer. It's a genuine question, really.
There's a definite conversation to be had there about, like, what is it about control for these teams?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're in our second half of the Gridlock saga now. Hardpoint up next. Some fantastic work from Splyce forced this game now. Denial, they would have been happy to close this out in 3, but I think they knew. I think they had a feeling. And the first hardpoint was nothing to sneeze at. Splyce with a considerable chunk of kills, heavily outslaying Denial, heavily. But Denial still coming out with that win. And now, see if they can't repeat history. A victory over Splyce for them would be huge. It would be incredibly damaging for this Splyce lock roster.
So it's such a must-win game for Splyce, I feel. These guys were at the very top. We talked about it on Trading Shots, you know, in regards to, you know, which team is going to come out on top, you know, who's got the hardest opening week, and, you know, Heretic, Splyce, E-United, 100 Thieves were all in that conversation, and Splyce, I do not know what's happened with these guys, but Aqua starts off with the hot 3. Splyce are going to get the first 20 points.
Still holding it. Still holding first. We are seeing Denial line up for the next one. Fantastic hail of gunfire there. Shuts down Bance up high. Top overpass. And now, final 12 seconds going to be going to 10. Once again, though, we do have Denial getting ready for the next one. They actually opted to push right through Broken and through Ice Cream to pick up those kills on the players in mid. But now they're going to position back. How will these 3 members of Splyce break now from up top? 2 guys hitting through Courtyard as well. Alex versus Looney. Alex wins. The trades come through. Joe's still alive, still kicking, and we have that hard point in the hands of Denial. Split spawns now come through. However, Denial is spawning the back end of Splyce as well. So this could be very interesting if that member of the hard point can stay alive.
That was accuracy. Accuracy was so patient there. He gets a trade on one of his teammates. He then pushes around, helps another, gets the spawn for his whole team. And within 20 seconds of the hard point popping, Denial get 18 of that, and they flip the spawns. It's so well done from Splyce, and in particular, accuracy.
Jerd, superstar hero of that last control round. Now starting to go on a bit of a run. He gets slowed down there in a big way. Brack finding 2 kills. Cleans up Alex as well, and now accuracy finds 2 kills right back. So Splyce not letting their foot off the gas, not letting anything slip by right now. Scrap time's going to be theirs, and here comes the battle for showers. Bance with that Sorg needs to make a difference. We talked about it in the first map. We talked about it before the start of the series. Bance needs to turn this around. 3 and 6 currently.
50 seconds. Almost actually on the hard point. Interestingly enough, both teams fighting for showers here, and rightly so, because obviously the control is so important of showers. But wow, a double beatdown going back and forth, and 2 heavyweights going at it. Trophy systems going down. We are going to see the time start to tick towards Denial as they lock things down here. Bance bobbing and weaving with this Sorg. Will be contested through the middle, and he's actually going to be shut down. Actually taking down Aqua by mistake there, as we do see the kill feed go. Splyce his way just for a second, though. Brack, Raiden, and Alex do bite back, and we are going to see the spawns and, you know, the setup from Splyce for next be, you know, pretty solid. Only Joe has kind of rotated earlier for Denial, but a very close game. 15 points in it.
There's absolute pandemonium with Showers there, really. I mean, even now, watching Brack, just watching the way he's aiming, it's just pure chaos. The adrenaline flowing through these players right now must be sky high. Temp, though, finding those two. The retreat from Showers now into bottom shot was fantastically orchestrated by Splyce, and now they have control. Denial actually have flipped that straight in, coming in on the back end of the highway. So accuracy, trying to get back over there to help his teammates. Joe's going to be there. Temp's already on top of the shop. He's going to get taken care of. So now it comes down to these two players trying to make their way in through the rubble. Quick slide makes it happen. Here comes the rest of them. Shots are through. Alex, he can't get it done. The body block comes in, and Splyce, they couldn't get it done on Hacienda, but there, 3 men make it through a single door, and they managed to kill everyone there from Denial.
Still 20 points in it. Splyce in the lead. They break the 100-point mark. They're looking much more comfortable. And accuracy from that first rotation up until this very moment, he's been having these solid performances and just staying alive. He's only got 4 deaths for himself here. And again, it's that time alive which he's really putting himself and his team in an advantageous position for a lot of these hills.
We see this on Gridlock a lot. You have to have those ICRs really working out, making sure that your Sorgs, your Maddox get a little bit closer. And here's the Sorg action we were talking about. Rated has been a little quiet so far. I mean, 9 and 4 is not bad, but I don't know if he feels like he's making enough of an impact to the boys. We're getting back into this one now for Denial. 93 and climbing. Splyce, they take their foot off the gas for just a second. Joe with 2. Oh, wow!
Brack attack is back. Here he is.
Speechless.
Beating them down, pummeling them. And last time, Denial, they had nothing of the middle, but they did have the rotation, which got broke so easily from Splyce. I don't see Splyce doing that again. Splyce are going for it. They're going for the same exact method, but the specialists to play with, the streaks to mess around with. Rated 10 and 4 now.
He's ready to turn this around.
Attack 5.
Brack still. You cannot rule him out. Rated can he keep the run going? Unfortunately not. The lightning strike's going to be enough to work with, though. I mean, that's enough to make a difference. We saw how much of a difference it made in the control in the hands of Looney. Brack gets taken care of, and now the second hard point starts to come under fire. The back coming in from Splyce. Bance is going to opt to push out. He's going to find at least one. There's possibly another there. Jerd, he's going to invest a slam to kill him. Denial. They're starting to draw out the specialists here of Splyce and starting to get a bit more time.
Yeah, they certainly are, and you're starting to see the time go in their favor. They actually take the lead for the first time here, 129 to 114. Splyce on the hill. And with 25 seconds here, Denial are not rotating. They're going for it again. They found one. Will find the second, that being Joe, but he can't get the kill. Temp finds a double, and now rotation hits. And Denial, it looked like they backed off. They kind of cut their losses and said, you know, we'll take Showers.
The last Showers was absolutely ridiculous. We saw both teams picking up a huge amount of kills, and the trades were furious. However, it does look like we may have a stronger setup now for Denial. If they can win the kills, this is going to be a solid chunk. Joe's going to open this up with at least 4 on the stun there.
That's a huge concussion.
Huge concussion. Posturing back and forth. War Machine's up for Brack. No chance now for these players to make it on the point. The trophy's just down below him, but he does shoot on the outside of that side of the trophy system, so he's going to make it through. Can't get the kills there, but Alex is going to find them. He finds his 3rd there on point. And Denial will hold. Denial will have the lead for now. I mean, this is a solid hold. Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have had 2.
Would have definitely damaged them whether they have Flat Jacket or not here. But again, Alex still on a tear. What's the streak? He's on 4 right now, 17 and 14. Finds his 5th in a row. He's working towards a lightning, still 295 away. But all this time, he's actually on the hard point. So interesting enough, you know, being that objective player, getting the time as well for his squad. But rotation needs to come through here. Splyce have used the TAC 5. You see the same ratios for all of them, you know, -3 now for Aqua, Looney, and Temp, and Jerd, all at the moment. Slaying side of things, we talked about it in map number 1 miles. They outslayed Denial heavily, and they still lost.
Yeah, they still did. And at the moment, Splyce, they don't have the kills. Slams up for Bance, just finding Temp there in the corner by the plant pot, and here we have it. Holding now. Perfect timing from Brack. Perfect timing from Brack. Perfect shots from Brack. 3 back-to-back. And that's going to hold for the time being. Still have those members up top shop as well, so they're not out of the woods just yet. Looney comes through, Temps to the reinforcements now arriving. Brack will finally go down. Joe holding the line for the time being. Vision Pulse at the ready. Man, what a push that was from Splyce. What a hold it was from Denial as well. This is a long engagement just for this hard point. 20 seconds left, Splyce on it currently.
Splyce are fighting here. Splyce are fighting tooth and nail. They know what's on the line here. Jerd trying to put together a couple of kills, and he's done just that. 3 kills in a row, shut down with a shot punch from Brack, and coming in from the top is going to be Temp. He finds the first, finds the second, will drop in, and he's going to find himself maybe 1 point for his squad, but 160 to 197. Last rotation, Aqua has found streaks. Rated has got a lightning strike as well. This is where we're going to see things come into play.
Lightning strike lands. Negative on the landing. The shots don't do anything. Looney, though, his shots certainly do. Holding up now in mid. Accuracy is. Here comes the lightning strike from Rated. It's also a dud from him. Aqua's Hellstorm comes out. We're going back blow for blow with these kill streaks. Slows it down, doesn't find any more. I mean, they push them off the point. No kills. Denial still with the lead.
I think that's it with the streaks. You hear them coming in and you just get out of there. That's going to be a quick 4 down. As Denial do take the lead here, 200 to 188. Accuracy, though. This is the time, really, with Vision Pulse popped here. Oh my. Stay alive with the VP.
Gets completely blinded. That's it. 210 now for Denial. They're starting to really walk away with this one. It's getting a little too dark for Splyce. Great stun from Joe. Great cover fire from Alex. That's a lovely bit of work there from Denial. And they've still got control of the hard point. This could be it for Splyce here in map 4.
Joe used the Vision Pulse as well as accuracy. Quick specialist check amongst everyone. Alex is close to his second tag 5. That is about it. Kills are coming in. Brack's found himself another double. Brack is 24 and 14. The consistency of this man is absolutely insane. But the kill feed lights up yellow. Looney, accuracy, Aqua as well, finding the kills. Bant's coming in with a shot punch as well. Dipping and diving, finding himself having to be quick on his feet. Down to 52 HP. Can't even get that stim shot off, but Contest is going to find its way through.
Can't slide in again. Once again, Bant gets caught. And you know what? Splyce have managed to do the unthinkable. They managed to hold that hard point, and we're going to push this to next. Showers, though, again. Since the first rotation, now in the third, Denial have found themselves a little bit of time here, a little bit of success. We need that Splyce magic.
Splyce need to break this on the first time, and I was going to say the reason being is that attack 5 boost from Alex is going to come in. It does come in, but will it be the difference maker? 7 seconds is all they need. They've got 2 players going up against 3. The numbers favor Denial. Everything's going in favor of the Wolfpack and Brack as well. Joke finalizing that, and Denial shut down Splyce 3-1 in another upset is what we called it at the start of the week. Whether you still call it that now, I do not know. Make that decision for yourself, but all we know is Splyce. They are not the Splyce that we knew.
Is it good form for Denial? Is it bad form for Splyce? I mean, if anything, you can say that Denial are getting better. Starting to iron out the creases in their game. I mean, still, bit of challenge there. Bant's, I'm not sure if he's underperforming right now. He's not necessarily going hugely positive in these matches. He's not necessarily going massively negative. You know, they're still winning those hard points when he is going negative. When Bant's his performance has been interesting nonetheless, but hey man, 3-1. What more do you want if you're a Denial fan?
And again, touching on Bant's there, you know, map 1, he didn't have the best of maps, but they did come out on top. It's much like almost Heretics when they play that play style of who plays the SMG and AR. If, you know, someone's dropping a 0.7 and they're winning 70% of the games, drop a 0.7 and win 70% of your games, you know, that's okay as long as you're coming out with the W. And I think Bant's obviously, this roster is a lot newer than Heretics, who kind of chopped and changed. So yes, he's got to kind of find his feet, but I think it's a little unfair, obviously. I know he's been underperforming, but they're coming out with results. So for now, I think they need to go back, work on it. But watching Bant with the Sorg there, I was up and down about it. You know, definitely ways to improve.
Yeah, I mean, not anything to sneeze at. Bant has got a little bit of growing pains. He asked me to gas him. I'm doing my best, Bant. I mean, your team's winning. What more do you want? Super impressed, though, by Brack. You know, the Star-Spangled Man on that lineup.
Amazing.
He's a brilliant, brilliant player to watch. Very, very strong work from him in all maps, actually. And you know what? We're not going to be talking to the Star-Spangled Man. We will be talking to Alex over on our PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Miles. How does that S&D round feel 6-1 after coming off of what you described as the worst S&D choke in the history of COD?
It was good. Like, as long as we do everything, we're decisive, everyone's on the same page. We literally, I think our S&D is perfect. Like, we're just, everyone in the team individually is good at S&D. So as long as we're all on the same page, we're literally perfect, and it shows.
For that control, you guys started off so strong, so promising. Was there anything you could have done differently there to take that map as well?
I mean, I didn't have a great control. I think me and Joe didn't, but that map's just, I think that's one of their better controls. So their pick, they're going to win it.
Fair enough. Now, overall, what does it say about Denial that you guys would fall to a team like Elevate and then come in and look so strong versus Splyce?
As I said, that was the most embarrassing choke ever. That should never happen. That should have been a 3-0. The game should have been different against 100 on the S&D. We literally could have had a 4-0 week if things went our way, but obviously it didn't.
All right, well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. On over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. And there you have it, of course, Denial 3-1ing Splyce. And we actually do have Looney from Splyce up on the desk with us. I'm, of course, your host, Katie Bedford, joined also by Study and Pac-Man. Looney, thank you so much for coming up with us.
Yep, down for this.
This did not exactly go how you thought it would go.
Nah, this week definitely didn't go how we thought it was. Coming into it, we knew Envy was on our back. We luckily came in with a 4th seed, so you obviously want to hold that. And we knew Envy was on our back, and I think that's kind of it. So we just needed at least a 5-2, 2 weeks. Losses like to United were kind of acceptable, right? And like 100 Thieves since they got 1st and 2nd. And coming out and losing to that Elevate match really put us kind of in a hole and like back against the wall. And then just now losing to Denial, it's really gonna have to dig deep next week.
So it's no secret you guys are struggling right now. Do you think you saw this coming before your performance in London, or did it start like after you guys got top 12 and then things started to spiral downwards for you?
Nah, definitely before London. Like I was obviously going into London wanting to win, but I then wasn't surprised that we placed top 12 at London just because our practice online really suffers. And I mean, as former players and John and Study, they both know that practice matters before an event, and we just didn't have the best of practice, and we didn't have the best of practice even after London. So. For me, it's so two hard points out of the week. You guys both outslayed, and you guys tend to keep losing these hard points. I had a conversation with Donnie. He tells me he feels like the kills are like useless. Like you guys are not doing enough with it. Like I'm just run me through it. Like how is that happening? Like you guys can be the best hard point team at points, but like this week you guys been out slaying, getting these kills. It's nothing like in LG's form. But like what's going on? I mean, again, you guys are former players. Hardpoint kills, they can be useless. Like, you can either spawn them where they want to spawn, or you're spawning them in too many areas for you to control. Like, you want to control the spawns. You want to be like, yo, they're spawning here. We know they're all coming here. And then sometimes we're just giving people split spawns without us knowing it. We think we're controlling the spawns, but we're not. So then we just put ourselves in tough situations where you have to slay out.
And is communication coming into that when you guys think that you're spawning out otherwise and you don't realize it?
Communication has to do with it and just where we are on the map, right? Like, you want your teammates to be at the right spots in the right time, and we might be too far pushed up, and then that's where the comms come in. Like, one person might not tell us, like, yo, I'm really pushed up in their base, we need a hard block or something like that. So it's just a mixture of things, and we're just, like I said, we're just probably getting kills just all over the place on the map, and it's not beneficial to us. And that's when the kills are just useless.
So people will probably kill us if we just don't ask you while you're up here, but I'm sure you've heard that right now there's huge rumors going around the community that it's going to be Splyce gunless or something like that. Is there any talk amongst your team about making changes like that?
I mean, honestly, just with our performances lately, it's kind of one of those things where a change might be needed. You never know, you know? It's just one of those things that does have to get brought up and just move forward from there. It's kind of like one of those things where all of us want to win, and I mean, if we're not getting the job done, I guess we might just have to switch it up. Who knows?
So you guys have incredible talent on this team, and we've seen how high your ceiling is and how well Splyce can do. So noting all of that, it's not all bad here. So what are things that are looking up? What are things you feel positive about with your team?
I mean, there's always that, you know, the thing to fall back is, like, we've been to a grand finals. We've choked a chance to win a title. So, like, you can always fall back on that. Like, we know we can win. And honestly, like, you watch some of these teams, and they're not as far ahead as we set it out to be. I think 100T is pretty far ahead, but it's not even like them far ahead. They just make minimal mistakes. You just got to polish up your game and make sure you come into a game not making those mistakes. Like yesterday, we were getting smoked by United, and then we just made them look like M's third map. Yeah. Like, it's just one of those things where, why did that happen? Comms were flowing, teamwork was going good, and, you know, we shined. But then there's just no consistency to it. Then fourth map came, and falling back to making those easy mistakes and not shooting together.
So going into the next week, you guys went 1-3 on this week. Main game mode for me, you guys are really good at is just control in general. What are you guys gonna go forward into next week? What are you guys gonna try to improve? What do you feel like are your weaknesses going into next week that you need to fixed.
I mean, next week's obviously a tougher schedule. We wanted to come out stronger on this, but I think we have 100 Thieves, Heretics, which we struggled against. I think we're 0-2 against Heretics. 100 Thieves we beat in the last split, but obviously they're like
different now.
Their confidence level is high, so it's just one of those things where we're really gonna have to polish up our respawns because they're respawn heavy teams. And S&D is one of those things where since you don't practice at home, it just starts coming together when you're struggling. So it's just one of those things where we just have to make sure respawn and we're just at the top of our game in order to try to take those big series.
Right. Let's pull up our schedule as we move things along here. Speaking of two of those teams Looney did just mention, will be 100 Thieves and Heretics going up head-to-head next. Again, as we move along in our last day of this week of Division B. But if you're just tuning in, we did just have Splyce's Looney on the desk with us. Elevate and Denial coming out with wins so far. But when we come back, we'll be talking Heretics versus 100 Thieves.